Mimi ndimi mzabibu wa kweli, na Baba wangu ndiye mkulima. Mimi ndimi mzabibu wa kweli, na Baba wangu ndiye mkulima. Tawi ndani yangu likiota, nitaliondoa na kulitupa.
Hello, my name is Berkeley Hackett. I'm a missionary in Nairobi, Kenya. And I want to take a few minutes now to introduce you to the Lord's work in that great city and some of the opportunities that we have there. The country of Kenya lies in the equator in eastern Africa. It has a population of about 20 million people. The major languages are Swahili and English. This is the Africa of your imagination, a wild and wonderful land of jungles, wild animals, and villages. But Africa is changing rapidly. Today, Africa's cities are the fastest growing in the world. When I moved to Nairobi 18 years ago, the population was 250,000. Today, almost 3 million people call Nairobi home. The population gains 1,500 new adults every week, many of them ending up in the city slums. We must reach Africa's fast-growing cities with the gospel now or lose the opportunity. The future of the Lord's work in Africa is in its cities, and Nairobi is the key city. It is the largest and most important city in East and Central Africa. This is the urban heart of the continent. All business and industry is centered in Nairobi. It is virtually the only place where people feel assured that they can find jobs. Nairobi is a commercial and transportation hub of the whole of East and Central Africa, and it is gaining in importance every year. Shortly after the turn of the century, this city's population will be nearly 20 million people. And Nairobi has all the problems and prospects of most third world cities. Overcrowding, unemployment, and substandard living are the common lot of many people in the city. And Nairobi is growing so fast that it cannot keep up with even the essential services. But the best and the brightest from the countryside continue to move into the city in order to improve their lives. Some make it in Nairobi and some don't. Some become successful laborers, businessmen, artisans. Others never rise out of the lowest rungs of society. Africa's cities mean masses of people. The population density is unbelievable. Up to an average in Nairobi of 5 people live in every room. People don't really live in their houses like we Americans do, but they live in the streets. Nairobi is the kind of place where 24 hours a day there's something going on. People are walking up and down and you can hear voices. Missionary preachers from the church have targeted Nairobi in an effort to make this city the launching pad for all of urban Africa. We cannot reach Africa's cities from the United States, but with the Lord's help we can do it from Nairobi. But this is a challenge. We must learn to speak to all of Nairobi's people, from the big businessman downtown to the poorest slum dweller without even enough income to provide food for his children. From the rich man in his Mercedes to the beggar on the street. All need the gospel, and all need the gospel in their own language in terms that they can understand in ways that communicates especially to them. In Nairobi, we are meeting that challenge. We have evangelistic outreaches to every rung of society, either in progress now or on the drawing boards. We are attempting to bring together the largest missionary team ever in urban Africa. Kenya's people are very receptive to the gospel. When I moved to that country 18 years ago, there were only 3 small churches with less than 20 people total membership. Today, there are more than 600 active congregations. In Nairobi, the church meets in 17 different places and is growing. The Nairobi team baptized nearly 700 people in 1987, and bigger things are ahead. Urban evangelism has special needs. The city is a boisterous place. So much is happening day and night. It's a hyper environment. To reach a city, you have to have high visibility, a high profile. The urban center demands that you be so active and so visible that you cannot be ignored. You cannot win a city by working in a small and quiet manner. The city demands a special approach. Because the city is made up of so many different parts, different neighborhoods and environments, one evangelistic technique is never enough. You must become all things to all men. The middle class respond to a different evangelistic approach than that used with the blue-collar workers, and that different from the slum dwellers, each in a manner that is tailored specifically for them. We are challenged to speak to every group's specific needs, and sometimes those needs are of benevolent nature. 3 years ago, the Kenya government gave the Church of Christ 5 acres in the population heart of Nairobi. Brethren all over the world were challenged to help build a large central church building and Christian vocational school. The Nairobi Central Church building is now complete. $830,000 was used in this construction. The building seats 1,500 and is the largest church building we have outside of America. We thank all who have had a part in this great work. We are excited to have this great evangelistic tool in our hands. Thousands will be added to the kingdom because of your generosity. But you can see by the pictures that the Christian Vocational School is unfinished. On the main building, with 11 classrooms and 7 offices, we were able to get the walls up, but ran out of money before we get the roof on. The second building, with 3 big workshops, has only its foundation in place. We need to finish this project. It is the biggest single project ever launched by the Church of Christ on any mission field anywhere. We do not need to leave it half finished. These walls are an indictment against us. We must not fail in Nairobi. Too much is at stake. The Christian Vocational School will be a tremendous evangelistic tool. We need it now. Our location in Nairobi is perfect to have a powerful impact. There are 1 million people within walking distance of this church building and this future Christian Vocational School. In the immediate neighborhood of the church, there is only one church of any kind for every 9,000 inhabitants. The Eastwood Church of Christ in Hutchinson, Kansas, is collecting and administrating all Target Nairobi funds. In 1988, I will be traveling all over the United States asking congregations and individuals to help us finish the job. Brother Dick Boyd, another of the Nairobi missionaries, is in America as well, doing the same thing. We need your help. The Christian Vocational School is very important to the Lord's work. It is part of the total Target Nairobi program for winning urban Africa. East Africa has recently been hit by severe droughts that resulted in mass starvation. Many of our brethren were among those that suffered. Christians all over the world responded with millions to buy emergency food. This was a great outpouring of Christian love. Yet it did not solve the problem, it only postponed it. The answer to our brethren's needs is not a handout, but a helping hand. The Christian Vocational School will give our brethren the needed skills to become self-sufficient, like this brother in the picture. There is food for those who have the money to buy it, and jobs for those with the skills and determination to find them. You saw how far we'd come. Not only have we built the large central church building and part of the vocational school, but we've also purchased tools and machinery. $600,000 will finish all construction. $215,000 of that has already been given. Only $385,000 remains. We can finish given the will and the faith. Well, I hope that you enjoyed seeing the work in Nairobi. We want you to become a part of it. At this point, we need $385,000 to finish the whole project. Well, that's a lot of money. But it's not very much money considering how far we've already come. We do need your help. Won't you become a part of the work there?
Mimi ndimi mzabibu wa kweli na Baba wangu ndiye mkulima. Mimi ndimi mzabibu wa kweli na Baba wangu ndiye mkulima. Tawi ndani yangu lisilota, nitaliondoa na kulitupa.